What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the fourth episode of Cutting the Red Tape. Do appreciate you guys for joining me, coming in and check out the channel and watching the podcast. Definitely, please do me a favor, like, share, subscribe, everything that I'm doing, whether it be the full video, the clips, any of the clips that I'm doing on any other resources. It all helps to help us go towards sustaining a funding source, a permanent funding source for supporting veterans. So again, sustaining a permanent source for supporting veterans is the goal. So we got to get the subscribers up for you guys who have seen my videos, like, shared, and comment. Thank you so much. For those who haven't, please do me a favor, like, share, and subscribe. I'm going to be going over a lot of stuff as far as cutting through the red tape through these podcasts. And again, they're quick episodes, quick things, just things that have you think about things that could derail veterans for quite some time or quite some way if you're in the wrong situation. So we'll jump right into it. Like I said, I appreciate the love, guys. So thank you so much. So the first thing is transitional housing. I guess one of the episodes or one of the events that I had this weekend was a veteran that we had to, or the CRC was trying to get into transitional housing. Problem was the veteran had a service dog, and the service dog needed to have some shots and some things taken care of. And I was like, well, dang, like, is there no other program that this veteran can get into? Like, the dog has to have its shots before it gets into, or the service member has to have the dog get its shots before it gets into anything. I guess that was the case. So, I mean, they were calling around, they were reaching out. Now, I don't think it's a guarantee that this veteran is going to get into transitional housing, but it's one of those things where, like, okay, hey, we have to wait and see if a bed opens up. But this will at least give them the opportunity. So it's one of those situations to where, okay, do you leave this veteran out in the street, leave them homeless, or do you try and take care of the situation? They reached out to me. I thought about it. And my thing was, okay, if it's going to be another opportunity to get this veteran off the streets, let's go ahead and do it. So we're going to go ahead and pay for the dog, the service dog, to get his shots. So this individual can enter a program or at least get on a waiting list to get some type of transitional housing. But again, that's a thing right there that can derail you. I never thought, maybe in a million years that somebody has a service dog and, it's like, oh, hey, we can't get you to transitional housing unless you get past this. And the shots are expensive, guys. For those of you who have pets and dogs and animals, unless you know some type of discount or some type of resource, please let me know. I'd love to give that to my viewers here. If you know where to get, shots for dogs that need it, or cats or whatever your service animal may be, please let me know. But that's the thing that can derail you. That's the thing that could derail you. If you're sitting there, you walk into the CRC and you're like, hey, I'm trying to get into housing, transitional housing. And they say, all right, cool. Has your dog been taken care of? And you don't know if your dog's been taken care of, that can become an issue, because who's got $400, $500 when you're homeless to try to assist your service animal? Not a lot of homeless veterans. So we are able to step in and help that situation. So hopefully I can give you guys an update on this veteran and see if he was able to get into transitional housing. But that's just another instance. We're going to cut right through the red tape. Hey, let's get this veteran the services that he needs. If getting the dog shots is going to get this veteran off the street, let's do it. While we're sitting here messing around, while we're sitting here wasting time, wasting days, wasting weeks, let's get it and go. Now, on top of that, because he had no transitional housing as of yet, obviously he had no place to live. So they also reached out to me and said, hey, can you help cover expenses for, shelter until, we can try to get them squared away, here in the next coming week? Which, of course, I'm like, again, yes. Again, are we going to leave the veteran just out on the street in the wind? No, we're not. We're trying to work towards ways of cutting the red tape. And this is another way that we've cut the red tape. So hopefully give this veteran shelter taking care of the dog, and now him working through the CRC will hopefully get him into transitional housing. That's what the hope is, at least. I mean, all we can do is try, right? So that's what we're going to do. The second is we had another thing that we can assist with that came across is veterans coming off of, I guess, detox, who didn't go to the CRC. I guess they this veteran requested help. Well, of course, the CRC they can't help with as far as paying like that first initial rent or cost to get into, I don't know, I guess you would call it a halfway, I don't even call it a halfway home, but I guess that's what it is. This veteran's coming from detox. He's trying to get into another program to help, get him on his feet and get him on his way. So that's something they called us to assist about. And I said, you know what, absolutely, if you're clean and you're going to go in the right direction, I'm more than willing to happy to help, because it's housing first, right? I guess that's the smart way of doing things as far as what the research says. It's just a little bit confusing to me at times, because we have this housing first model, and like the veteran I told you guys about a couple of weeks ago, the one who had the spouse. Okay, well, if it's housing first, SSVF funding, I read it, I've applied for it, and maybe I just don't understand it, but there's clause in there for rapid rehousing, so why don't more people qualify for rapid rehousing? Why wouldn't this person who had the dog who need to wait the weekend before his dog gets the shots, why wouldn't they qualify for rapid rehousing? I know there's a certain threshold or a medium income that you have to meet. Just to me, it's just, sometimes the stuff doesn't make sense. I'm like, we have this great program, that can help you with rapid rehousing, that can get you into shelter, that can subsidize rent costs. Sometimes I feel like it's lost though, and maybe I don't see all the numbers, but it sometimes seems like, hey, are we giving these guys the resources as they're walking out the door, so they know that they can access this type of funding, this type of assistance? It's a great program. Still go ahead and utilize and use it. I understand there's only so many programs that are able to utilize the funding, because everybody competes for it, and only a certain amount of organizations get that. But, hey, are we telling every veteran what those options are when they come in, when they see? Because I'm mentioning it, and then every time I mention it to a veteran, they're like, I've never heard of it. Now, I don't know if that's a lie. I don't know if it's a truth. I don't know. All I'm saying is, hey, if it's an option, if it's a resource, let's at least throw it out there. And I'm not too sure why it's not being utilized in the veterans that I talked to. So that's something I'm gonna have to explore. That's something I'm gonna have to go down there and talk with those guys about, just in the instances that I've had. And if you guys know, hit me up in the comments. Let me know. Maybe I'm missing something, because I'd like to know, or at least nail it down exactly how it works, so you can give the veteran the right answer at the right time. But again, enough on that. So another situation that we had rolling through was, let's say you're a veteran and you're trying to get things worked out. Maybe you're paying for your house, you're paying for your phone, you're paying for different things, and maybe you let one of those things go. One of those things maybe happen to be a car payment, right? I've seen that happen, right? Some people get behind on their car payment. Maybe other things are more important, which could be, right? Could be feeding your family, feeding your kids. You're just gonna hold on that car payment and or that phone bill or something until something comes through. And well, nothing does come through, or maybe you did start something, but now your vehicle is going to get repoed. So you're calling around, and it's like, hey, they've already sent the repo notice. I only have so many days before my car gets repoed. And again, you don't want to put the veteran at a disadvantage. You don't want the veteran to not be able to get to work, to not be able to take their kids to school, to not be able to operate. I mean, when you talk about taking somebody's car and then, shuttling a bus or taking Uber, yeah, that's an option, but is it ideal? And is that going to get the job done? Who knows? Right. So we were reached out to again to try and stop the situation, because obviously we want this veteran to continue working. They just got a job. We want to keep them working. We want to keep a roof over their head. And only them getting their car taken away is only going to derail everything, right? And then they start to regress. We don't want to take away all that progress. So we stepped in. I think it was like the eviction process, or not the eviction, the repo process was already going through. The lady told me, like, yeah, they see the vehicle, they're gonna tow it. I was like, hey, if we pay it, is it gonna stop everything? They said, yep, it'll stop everything. They'll get the message and everything will go through. So we ended up paying that, and especially ended up writing a pretty good letter for us. Just as a thank you. I didn't even ask for this, and he just shot this my way in a text message. And it just says, I want to thank you, Marcus. I want to thank Marcus and his organization again for stepping up and helping me to keep my car. They were generous beyond my wildest dreams. They made my car payments. Now I can keep working. Marcus is the real deal when it comes to helping veterans in need. Thanks again, Marcus, for so much needed support. So those are the messages that I get. I get those messages, quite a bit. I only share a couple here because people are just, so thankful when you're able just to cut through all the BS. You vet them properly. This is not just, hey, here's the money. No, there's purpose behind it. We're making sure you're doing the right things. If you come to me with that, straight up BS, and, you're trying to play the game, you're trying to play the system, don't waste my time. Don't waste my time, lose my number, straight up. Let me say that again. If you're here to waste my time, if you're not here to actually get yourself, the support you need and get yourself, out of it, lose my number. All right. That's not what I'm about. That's not what a lot of organizations are about. And they'll tell you that straight up too. We want to help veterans get up, get on their feet and make it happen. Not play this game just where give me a handout, give me a handout, give me a handout. That's not the way this works. So, these individuals are really in need. When I see stuff like that, it definitely brings a tear to my eye, because again, I want to see veterans get up, succeed, and I definitely want to, bring that veteran suicide rate down to zero, and that's what I'm here for. So I love doing things like that. Just goes to show that when you have an emergency resource, Veterans 5 and 9, that can help in a pinch, that really does stabilize things, and that's what we're all about. So last thing I want to talk about is a friend of mine, near and dear. He is kind of going through it right now. He has a GoFundMe account up. For those of you who don't know, his name is Dave Campbell. He has done a lot in the community, and I just want to read you guys a little bit from his GoFundMe page. And if you guys don't have it, you can find me on LinkedIn. I'll post it in the description here. But it says right here, help disabled U.S. Army veteran David Campbell. The person who started it, his name is Dean Perarti. He says, I am the co-founder of the Casa Veterans Ministry at the Franciscan Renewal Center in Scottsdale, Arizona, and a retired captain of Phoenix Fire Department. Right on. On behalf of the Casa Veterans Ministry, I'm raising funds to assist David Campbell, a triple Bronze Star recipient and U.S. Army veteran, and his wife, Melissa, to raise $16,000 to cover unexpected roof repair bills during a critical time in Dave's life. David, a disabled Gulf War vet, is very well known to police officers, firefighters, and paramedics around Arizona. From 2012 to 2016, he was a featured speaker and panelist in the front line on the Home Front, a partnership between the Arizona Coalition for Military Families and the Phoenix Fire Department to train first responders across the state to be better prepared to respond to veterans in crisis. Since then, David has done quarterly presentations at Crisis Intervention Training, CIT for short, programs for law enforcement officers around the Valley. He is especially well known to Mesa, Chandler, Scottsdale, and Gilbert police officers. In addition, David is a facilitator for the Healing of Memories for Veterans workshops held biannually at the Franciscan Renewal Center through the Healing of Memories Institute in South Africa to assist veterans in their healing journey. David is also co-founder of the Mesa Veterans Resource Center and has been an ambassador for many years for Soldier's Best Friend, which pairs service dogs with eligible veterans. David has shared his military experience with a variety of service organizations over the years in support of U.S. service members, veterans, and military families. In 2014, David was selected as first veteran to receive the Salute Arizona Veterans Award, sponsored by ABC 15 and Sanderson Ford. And basically, how you can help is they're, again, trying to raise funds for roof repairs and mold mitigation, a total of $16,000. So I will link to the description in for this GoFundMe account. Looks like they're at $1,750 right now. And again, they need to get to $16,000. So again, if you can find it in your hearts to donate to David Campbell, this guy has done a tremendous, I can testify, he has done a tremendous amount for the community. It's time for us to give back and return it to this veteran right here who has put it all on the line for veterans and has been through the thick of it for veterans. So I'm going to leave it right there. Again, this is Cutting Through the Red Tape. Let's go ahead and cut through the red tape and get David his roof repaired. Please do me a favor, like, share, and subscribe to this channel. Allow us to provide a permanent funding source to support veterans in need. You know what I got to say. No time for talk, just time for action.